Apparently, once you reach 100% brain capacity, you can use the Force. I need to get me some of this drug. Limitless, Lucy, is directed by Besson, stars Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman. This film is about a girl who gets a packet of drugs sewn inside of her. She's forced by these drug dealers to conceal this drug within her, and when it pops open inside of her, this new drug gets into her bloodstream and allows her to access an increasing amount of her brain capacity. She becomes incredibly smart. She's able to control electronics and access people's brains and all kinds of crazy stuff, and she turns the tables on these guys that forced her into this situation. Now, I do like Luc Besson, although a lot of his films are very similar. He really likes his badass chicks. La Femme Nikita, The Professional, The Fifth Element, Lucy. He really digs girls with guns, and Scarlett Johansson is very good at doing that in this movie. In fact, her performance is great. She starts off as this blubbering idiot. She does a total 180 and turns into the ultimate hardcore badass, and she does a really good job in this film. Morgan Freeman plays Morgan Freeman in this movie. In fact, it's pretty much the same role that he played in Transcendence, another scientific-y movie about technology and things existing that don't quite exist, and people making things exist that don't quite exist, except this is much better than Transcendence. Luc Besson makes a very good-looking movie here. The movie looks great. It's edited very well. There's a good car chase. The action is filmed well. There isn't any stupid shaky cam. Everything looks very nice and fluid. All the performances are very good in this movie. The dude from Oldboy, whose name I can never pronounce correctly, did a very good job as well, although you don't really know much about his character. He's just a menacing, evil guy, and you don't really know much else about him at all. But he was good. It has all the Luc Besson cliches you're expecting to see, you know, guns and slow motion and opera music and stuff. But for a movie about someone who is incredibly smart, it has a lot of dumb parts too. I just find it stupid that someone who is able to access 100% of their brain capacity would not see the incredible futility of gun violence. She can do everything, and eventually she can actually control things and use like telekinesis and stuff, yet she's still doing the guns and shit. It's like, why? But my main issue with this movie was actually the fact that as a protagonist, she becomes so invincible that no one challenges her. She can do anything. Everyone is a weak little wisp of something to her. So there isn't really that much tension in the movie. It's just kind of an entertaining film that you can watch, but there really isn't that white-knuckled fear that you may have wanted from an action movie, because she's basically a superhero. My best way to describe it to you is the first Matrix film versus the last two Matrix films. Remember in the first film where it was like really gritty and actually kind of violent, and Neo was getting his ass handed to him, he was spitting up blood and everything, and you cared about him, you were worried about his survival? In Reloaded and Revolutions, he was such a superhero. When he got hit in the face, it was like, oh, he's fine, it's not a problem. You never really felt that tension because he was just able to control everything, and he was better than everyone. That same issue is with Lucy, because she is able to control everything. She is better than everyone, and so you don't really fear for her survival. There isn't an antagonist in this movie that is worthy of her. So the antagonist in the movie, the villain, is just kind of a really evil guy. It is a very bizarre movie as well. It's very ambitious, actually. In fact, a lot more ambitious than you may think by just watching the trailers. In fact, so ambitious that I think some audience members will be turned off by this movie, because it actually does a lot of really unconventional things with this movie, despite the fact that there's a lot of conventional action genre cliches as well. They use a lot of animal footage and things like that to give very obvious visual metaphors to things you are seeing happening. It's really it's like, I was like, oh, that's different. And I guess that's kind of praiseworthy to have the balls to do something that different in a movie that audience members might not like or understand. The movie is entertaining. Johansson is great in the movie. It looks very, very good. There are good action sequences, despite the fact that the tension really isn't there. And there's a lot of really dumb things that happen in this movie about someone who's really smart. I'm gonna give Lucy a B-. It's a mixed bag at times, but overall I was entertained by the movie, and I think if you go into the movie just wanting to be entertained, that you'll probably enjoy yourself. But prepare yourself, because it is a little different and a little bit more ambitious than you may have thought if you just watched the trailer and thought this is just gonna be a Luc Besson action movie with guns and bullets and babes and slow motion. And it has that, but it also has other things that I won't spoil. Guys, if you've seen this film, let me know what you think of it below, and if you're excited for it, I'd like to hear about it. Thank you so much as always for watching, guys, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.